Hello, Pepsi boys and Coca-Cola girls. How are you doing on this beautiful 1970s evening down at the old doo-wop studio? Are you good? I hope you're good because I'd like to introduce this next song to you. It's called Twist and Shout by the Beatles. It's a good song. If you've never heard it, we're going to start dancing and then we're going to use this song and play it in all of our uh, 1990 and 2000 films that take place in the early 70s. But for whatever reason, we always use the same music, like to imply that there were only like one or two bands around that were popular at the time. And you might be thinking to yourself, well, that was kind of true, wasn't it? That's kind of how it is now, right? We live in a world where there's only like two or three bands that are popular. I'm like, no. If you think Jason Mraz is any good, if you think Macklemore is any good, then you're entitled to that opinion. That's not something I'm going to judge you too much for. If you think Tila Tequila is any good, actually, here's a joke for you. Before I start talking about Tila Tequila, what if soy milk is just regular milk introducing itself in Spanish? Do you get it? Do you get the joke? Does that joke make sense to you? I hope it does, because I spent a lot of time reading it on the internet. I spent more time reading that joke on the internet than you probably give me credit for, and you know what? I'm fine with that. That's not something I'm going to get too upset about. So anyways, I was talking about, what the fuck was I talking about? Oh, Tila Tequila, that's right. I was going to talk about Tila Tequila. So apparently Tila Tequila is amazingly pro-Hitler. She's very pro-Hitler in a way that's almost like disturbing. Like she thinks she's some sort of reincarnated version of Hitler in like an Asian girl's body or something like that. I don't exactly know the logic there because I don't know how reincarnation works, because I don't believe in Buddhism. She might, because like I said, she's Asian, and like Buddhism is something that Asian people believe in, either that or Taoism. I don't know the difference between the two, but I know that those two things are very, very similar. Maybe they're not similar. I don't know. I don't want to step on any toes here by making these bold, sweeping statements that turn out to not be so true in the end. Because like I said, I like to give everybody a fair chance. I like to give everybody a chance to make the case and explain themselves, and then I'll judge them from there. Because I don't like so much when people do that sort of thing to me, so I'm not going to do that sorts of things to other people, because that's not the kind of guy that I am. That's not the kind of boy that I choose to conduct myself as. So anyways, term limits, right? So some people think that senators and congressmen should have term limits because a lot of them spend many, many years in that position, and they just kind of sit there and make bad choices, bad decisions, and people get upset about those people who represent, because when you're a senator or congressman, you represent specific states, but you've got crazy opinions that other people that live in those states don't agree with, and for whatever reason they want you to leave, or they think that you're not a good fit for them, you don't represent them in a positive way, then you will have to leave. Because I believe congressmen don't have term limits. I think they just get to sit there for as long as they want to. But I think senators might have 6 or 8 year term limits. But senators aren't the same thing as congressmen. I don't know the difference between the two. I'm a guy who doesn't like to pay too much attention to politics, because people like Donald Trump are always in the news, and people like Hillary Clinton are always in the news, and people like Ted Cruz are always in the news. With Ted Cruz, it's news you can use. That's a little rhyme I made up. So Ted Cruz, if you want to use that for your campaign, you have to pay me royalties for it. And if you're going to use that and not pay me royalties for it, I will take you to court, and I will use this as proof that, okay, what is today? Today is May 1st, 2016. If I ever hear you say that anywhere down the line from now, I will sue you. That is the SparkleDart guarantee. And I might have just given a lot of information away. Today is May 1st, 2016, currently as I am recording this episode. But I get the feeling this episode probably won't go up until about halfway through the month. So if I just spilled a whole can of beans, if I just broke your immersion into the world of SparkleDart, and for whatever reason you feel like you know too much about me now, you feel like we're just too close to be friends, we're not two peas in a pod anymore like you used to think we were, like you thought we were best friends or something, and now for whatever reason you can't get behind that. Oh. You know when you have to burp? Right? You know you have to burp, and you're not certain whether or not that burp is going to be like vomit. Do you know what I'm talking about? Does that make sense to you? Do you understand where I'm going with this? You burp, and then you're not sure if vomit is going to come out, so you do it slowly, and over the course of like 3 or 4 consecutive burps, and then you wind up like vomiting in your mouth a little bit anyways, because it was there the whole time, and you just were doing your best to let it out, and then it just came out anyways, but not like a lot, but like a little bit, to the point where it's like, okay, so imagine if you made like peaches and cream oatmeal. You know those little tiny like peach chunks that you get in that oatmeal? Imagine like little pieces that are that small, that same consistency, coming up your throat. And you know you didn't eat anything like that. You ate like a chicken sandwich from Dairy Queen earlier, and then before that you had an avocado or guacamole and tortilla chips. And you know that nothing like what I just described, the peaches and cream, was inside of your body, but that's kind of what it made you think of when it came out. That's what just happened to me. So I know you've had this experience before. Don't even pretend like you did. Don't pretend like you're not a disgusting human being. Listen, human beings all have basically the same faculties, mechanisms, things that happen in their body that are just disgusting and don't appeal to the common biological man. And I know you want to think more highly of yourself, but at the end of the day, you're just some like gross slob who has to wash filth off of his body in the shower every single night. And if he doesn't do that, then he's going to smell like rat feces in the morning. And then people are like, wow, you smell really nice. You smell like if you get like old sport deodorant or something like that, then they'll tell you that you smell like Tahoe or Fiji or whatever other scents they have, like Cozumel or something like that. They'll be like, wow, you smell really good. Thank you for being in my presence so I can sniff your body. And then you'll be like, that's exactly why I do this. I do this for you. I do this for the people around me. And I hope that they can appreciate this on the same level that I appreciate when somebody else smells nice around me. And that's just what it's going to have to be from now on, I guess. Does that make sense? Do I sound insane when I say that? I have no idea. I have no frame of reference. I've never heard anybody say something like that before, because honestly, I don't like to listen to people talk. I think most people just kind of like to hear themselves talk. Like you go on NPR radio and they go up real close to the microphone like, hello, and welcome to NPR radio. How are you doing today? I hope you're doing well. 14 people were killed yesterday when somebody was driving the wrong way on the interstate, and they collided head-on with a bus. Thank you for tuning into NPR Radio, your source for disappointing news. And they talk like that, and because that, I don't like to listen to it. I think that they got their heads up their own asses. They think that the things that they're saying are interesting, and I'm like, this isn't interesting, it's just disappointing. Give me more news about celebrities that I don't care about, like Charlie Sheen, or Jennifer Aniston, or Tom Hanks. You know, it doesn't matter to me who I get my news on, just as long as it's not something disappointing, like Officer Michael Pritchard was killed in a shootout at 14th and Locust, right? I don't care about that. It just makes me sad to hear stuff like that police officers are dying because they're trying to stop criminals from making our world a worse place in the end, but at the same time they wind up dying, and it's like, well, police officers, you know, that's kind of what you sign up for when you join the force, and we of course, we should mourn you, we should commemorate you, but at the same time, it's like, we can't be too surprised that this sort of thing happened. We can't be too surprised that there are people out there who don't like police officers, because we know that, like, there's a song out there called Cop Killer, and there's a band out there called I Killed the Cop, and there's a TV show on AMV, or AVM, or American Movie AMC, called I'm Going to Go Kill Some Cops Next Tuesday. And if you've never seen those TV shows and movies, then you might think to yourself, well, that's a ridiculous thing to make a show about. And if you don't watch those shows, I honestly can't say that I blame you, because I think those shows are a little bit much. I think they are very hard to follow. They like to break you down and make you sad. Like if you ever watched The Breaking Bad or The Walking Dead, then you know all about being sad from a TV show. If you ever watch something like Steven Universe, you know all about being sad by a TV show. If you want to talk to me about Steven Universe, I'm probably going to talk about Steven Universe in the next episode, so be looking forward to that. I know some of you fucking nerds like to watch cartoons because you think for whatever reason that cartoons are better than real life, and I can't say that I disagree with you, because I do like I said a couple of episodes ago, I have like drawn comics and shit before, and you might be thinking to yourself, well, SparkleDart, I'd really love to see some of these comics, and if you want to show them to me, then I would love to go see them. Now, I'm not going to answer you directly. If you comment on one of my videos and say, show me your comics, you fucking faggot, I'm going to not respond to that. And I will tell you now to just go visit my Twitter account, because that's where they all are. That's where all the comics are located. They're on my Twitter. Well, like 4 of them are on there right now. As of this recording, there's 4 comics on there. You can go look at them. You can go chuckle, chuckle, yacht, yacht, yacht. That yacht that I just said was supposed to be like a laugh. It was supposed to be a combination of yuck and Yort, I guess, like Yordle the Turtle, which is probably one of the best books I've ever read on the subject of turtle stacking. Even still today, it really speaks to me. I tried to stack up turtles, but it just doesn't work because they're like round and they like to fall over, and they're living creatures, so they just tend to like topple over whenever you stack them up, because they move around. They've got biological processes. They got thoughts and feelings and instincts, and if you don't adhere to a turtle's instincts as a natural... Ugh. I'm still sick, by the way. The first couple of Pokémon episodes I recorded were last weekend when I was sick, and I'm still sick from that. So if that's a problem for you, then I guess you're just gonna have to skip ahead to the point in the series where I'm not sick. And that if you remind me to do that, I will put an annotation right here over my chop's face that says, go to when I'm not sick. If you remind me to do that, I will not do that on my own, and I will not do that when this episode first airs, because I'm still going to be sick for the next like 2 or 3 episodes, or however many more I decide to record today, because I do them in bulk, because I don't like to spend a whole lot of time dissecting my life and reflecting on the things that make me sad, because that's what I do when I do this show. I don't think too much about my own life when I'm just living my normal life, going out, walking down the street, pulling a radio flyer full of zinnias down the street because I'm going to go plant them in my garden. It's just not what I do. It's not part of who I like to be. It's not part of the way that I choose to live my life. Now, if you are curious about why I have a radio flyer full of zinnias, then I guess that is a question that I could answer. But I'm still not super keen on answering that question anyway, so just don't even worry about that one. Don't make that a point of interest, is all I'm going to say. Don't make that a point of interest to the point where you feel like I owe you an explanation as to why I would do something so stupid like that. Because you should just know that since I'm SparkleDart, I just do stupid things all the time. That's just, like I said, that's just how I've chosen to live my life. And if you don't understand that, then I guess you'll never understand in the future. Now, please, 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 don't bother me. Don't bother me about these sorts of things. I honestly don't care to answer these questions because they don't honestly seem that interesting to me at all. Disable? Right, that's like my cousin Merle. He's disabled, he's in a wheelchair, and he can't use his legs, and he had like a stroke or something. So he like talks out of the side of his mouth like this. And I'm like, Merle, that's a funny way that you talk, and you should like write a comedy act and then go on stage and talk like that. He's like, oh, this is just how I talk, SparkleDart. I don't want to have people laugh at me because they feel sorry for me. I want people to laugh at me because I am telling funny jokes. And then I'll be like, that's exactly what we were doing in the first place. And then you made it sad after you had to complain so much about how disabled you are in your wheelchair, your fucking wheelchair with like, listen, that thing's deluxe, buddy. I've sat in your wheelchair before when you were sleeping, and I've never sat in a chair that was quite that comfy. And I understand that it has to be a comfy chair because you sit in that all the time, and I just sit in chairs like maybe 10% of the day. I understand that it's not the same thing. All right. But we have to be able to meet each other on a level playing field. So anyways, I think I'm going to end this episode now. I forgot to turn on my stopwatch, so I hope this is a good length. And if it's not, then fuck you. Just go fuck yourself. I don't care. Goodbye, SparkleDart. Mwah.